Hey everyone, welcome into the channel. If you're new here, my name is Andrew, and along with my wife Jessica, we run a full-time reselling business called 5 Little Ducks Resale. This channel is all about reselling. It's where we go to garage sales and thrift stores and estate sales, and even sometimes retail establishments, and we buy things for cheap, and then we sell them online for a profit on sites like eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace. On today's video, we're going to go through a number of recent hauls that we made, the first of which is going to be a retail arbitrage haul that Jessica did, along with our youngest daughter, Melina, and they went to Winco Foods to find Squishmallows. So my youngest daughter is a huge Squishmallows fan, and she's always following the latest trends for Squishmallows, and so she knows all of the stores around the area and when they drop new items. And so she let my wife know that there was a recent drop at Winco Foods, and this is what they found.
Hi everyone, it's Jessica from 5 Little Ducks Resale. I was just going to show you our Squishmallow haul that me and 2 of our daughters found yesterday while I was taking them to a doctor's appointment. And my daughter, who is a Squishmallow hunter, wanted to find Otto, who is the Grim Reaper. And so she asked if we could stop at Winco, since there's one right by the doctor's office. So of course we went in looking for Otto, and unfortunately we didn't find him, but we found a bunch of other fall plush, and so this is what we wound up getting. So this is the squish haul that we wound up getting. I'm a nice reseller, and we didn't empty out the Squishmallow bins or anything. We just picked up one of each. And if we sell any, I'll go back to the stores to see if there's any to pick up to replenish what we sold. But for now, we just got one of each, and we left the whole other bins for all the other kids to be happy and find what they were looking for too. So we found Gabby the turkey. That's him. And we found Pippi the little pumpkin pie, and I forgot this one's name. Oh, Malcolm the mushroom. And this one, I don't know if I'm saying it right, so I'll just show you. I think it's Kalani, and just a little cute pumpkin with a scarf. And this one is Doma. That's an octopus. Kind of weird to find an octopus in your fall supplies, but he was there. And then we have Jody the pumpkin, or the jack-o'-lantern, and Fabby the snake with the witch hat, and the Day of the Dead Guadalupe, and then Kobe, which is the corn on the cob. So again, that was the ones that we picked up, and we're selling these ones on eBay. So that's our squish haul that we wound up spending a little over $200 on. So we're still squish hunting, as Melina is an avid squish collector. So we're still trying to find Otto for her. So happy squish hunting to all of the Squishmallow hunters out there that love to get their squish on.
All right, thanks Jess for that. Now with retail arbitrage, it's a little bit different than a thrift store or a garage sale. Obviously you're paying full retail price for the items that you pick up, so your profit margins are going to be much lower, of course. But sometimes you can do really well. We've picked up Squishmallows in the past, and so it's really hit or miss depending on if the newer items are really rare or hard to find. But we hope to do well. In fact, we did have one of these sell already. It was Malcolm the mushroom, and he sold on Mercari for $50 plus shipping. Since I normally don't include the Mercari and Poshmark sales in the what solds, I thought I'd update you here on that. This next clip is self-explanatory, so here it is. Hey guys, just wanted to show you this really quick. This was a lot of 16 or 17 pairs of shoes that Gina, our friend Gina, had given us to sell for her on eBay. As you know from probably previous videos that we sell a number of things that she had given us to us previously. And she had won these lots of shoes recently on an auction site. And so I think these possibly are Amazon returns or possibly overstock. I'm not entirely sure. Haven't heard of some of these brands like High Test. It looks like a work type shoe, but I've definitely heard of Wolverine before, and some Hush Puppies, and there's actually some Coach here it looks like, which we'll have to definitely do our research with Coach, because since that's a higher end brand, that tends to be a little bit, there's a higher chance that these could be fakes. But again, if they're coming from Amazon, more than likely not. But in the supply chain, you just never know where they're going to be coming from. So there are ways to get these shoes authenticated. But if they're maybe not one of the higher end models, then probably okay. But anyway, just wanted to show you that. I took a peek at one pair, and it did look like it was damaged, so it was possibly a return or something like that. But you know, these look to be in pretty decent shape. Not sure if I can sell these technically as new or not, so I'll definitely want to research each pair before they get listed. But that's kind of what we're up against here. So another mini shoe haul, and we'll update you.
17 more pairs.
17 more pairs, that's right. And so we will update you guys as they sell. This weekend we hit what was called Antique Alley, which our town and a number of neighboring towns all had antique fairs and garage sales throughout the cities. And so we went along the different roads connecting all the towns and hit sales along the way. And so we wanted to show you what we found. All right, guys, here's everything from the sales this weekend. As you can see, we filled up the table once again. Everything on the table and this one box below, which we'll show here in a bit. We only paid $88.50 for everything. So I think we did really well. So let's jump in and we'll show you what we had found. So we'll start on this side with some bigger plush. We have a Simba plush and some How to Train Your Dragon plush. This guy is pretty dirty, so we'll have to throw him into the washing machine again. We did find this Dachshundopoly game. I don't believe it's, well, it is open, so we'll have to make sure that it has all the pieces. It did look like it was complete, but we didn't do a whole lot of investigating at the sale itself. Found this cool Tequila Patron poker chip set. It is new, even though this top comes off. All of the chips are sealed, and the card deck itself is sealed as well. So that's kind of a cool find. We found this lot of PJ Masks figures. And just doing some brief research, there's a couple of different play sets that these came from, so I'll end up just lotting them all up, I'm sure. And let's see here, in the estate sale, we found this Madame Alexander doll and this cool Mickey Mouse watch. It does talk, so check this out.
Hey, the time is 47 minutes after 1. Wow.
So that's kind of cool. The watch face does have some damage, and it doesn't seem to keep time all that well. It's been 1:47 for like the past, I don't know, 3 days or so. So obviously we'll have to note that in the listing. We found some other plush, these Thai collectible plush dolls. We got a lion and a cat, and it looks like a cow over here, but this cow must have been involved in a horrific farming accident because the leg appears to be severed. So we'll have to note that when he gets listed, or she gets listed. And what else did we find here? We found some DVD sets, some sealed DVDs. Whenever we find the sealed DVDs, we always try to pick those up. So we found some okay titles, I guess. They're not big sellers, but again, they are new, sealed. And then further on down are some of the sets that we found. So kind of a cool thing. Alfred Hitchcock, The Hobbit, The Sting, Underdog collection, which is kind of cool. And then a Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys season. That's kind of neat. I'll put those back over here. At another sale, we found this cool vintage talking Chihuahua from Taco Bell. It's still sealed in the original package. I did try to test it out, but of course the batteries have died out a long time ago. But it's kind of cool that it's still sealed. At that same sale, we found these Teddy Graham plush bears. I've never seen those before. And it looks like these guys kind of represent all of the different varieties of Teddy Grahams. And I think there was one other one that I saw online. I think there were maybe a set of 5, but we only have the 4, but that's fine. At another sale, couldn't resist. I bought another box of Legos. And so I now have probably 3 or 4 different giant lots of Legos to sort through. Haven't done anything with those yet, of course. It's very time consuming, but save that for another time. At another sale, we found these action figures. I only paid 50 cents each, and I think this one is probably going to be the best one. This one, I believe, is from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. from the early 90s, I believe. And I think this one should bring in anywhere between $20 to $40 alone, which is kind of a cool thing. I didn't know that at the time when I picked it up. Just thought he looked kind of interesting and wanted to take a chance on him. And over here is another cool item, another really good find. This is one of those radar guns for Hot Wheels, but you can actually use it for regular items as well. I did test it out at the sale. I was actually seeing how fast people were coming towards and leaving the sale. But I had never seen one of these things before. Did a brief lookup while I was there. And I mean, this alone could go for maybe $20 to $30 by itself. And literally, I bought a couple other books that you'll see over here in a second, and this for $2 total. So that was a great find. And speaking of books, found a ton of these Beverly Lewis books. Again, we try not to buy individual titles, but once there's a number of them from the same author, we always try to pick those up. Similar here for some J.D. Robb and the In Death series, and some Janet Ivanovich, and we have this Beverly Lewis box set, which is kind of cool, and then some various other ones here. It looks like Kitty wants to make an appearance. So some children's books. So again, that's everything thus far. We're going to do one kind of reveal down here below, and we'll have Jess walk through that in one moment. So the one thing I'm going to pull out here, the last thing I'm going to have Jess talk about, are these.
I managed to find this big old box of LOL dolls, and I think she said at first that they wanted $50 for the whole box because they were originally charging $1 each. And I found it. We didn't really know at first, we just thought that we were going to leave it behind, but then she made a deal with us for the whole box. And we looked up some comps, and it looked like a really good bargain. So we'll have to separate these and by doll and accessory and all that and lay out what we have. I still don't know everything that we have in here, but it's a lot.
Yeah, this is pretty much an unsearched box of LOL and LOL accessories. So it's kind of like the LOL lot, I guess. So we're going to basically end up having to count all the dolls and lay out all the accessories. And I don't think we're going to do this all individually. This is all going to go on one lot, either as an auction or just to buy it now. But some of the comps that we saw actually, did pretty well for the larger lots. So I'm more than likely there's going to be duplicates. There may even be things that aren't LOL in here. So that'll be kind of some of the fun just to go through here and see what we got. So that was from an estate sale that we hit this weekend as well. So that's interesting. But again, like I said, for everything on the table here, we paid only $88.50. So I will make our money back and then some for sure. So just wanted to bring that to you guys. Hope you enjoyed. So of course, as always, stay tuned for some What Solds. So before we get into the What Solds today, I figured I'd pose a question to all of the viewers. So normally when I do these What Solds, I only go through our eBay sales, and I don't talk about our Poshmark or Mercari sales. I am going to be doing a talk about cross-posting items on our next video, but I'm curious to know if you'd be interested in hearing about those sales as well. Now, they don't compare to the volume that the eBay store has, but from time to time when we do make a sale on either Poshmark, Mercari, or Facebook Marketplace, if you want to know about those too, just drop a comment below. I'll be happy to add those in. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look at what sold out of our eBay store over the last number of days. And just to let you know, there's going to be a lot of shoe sales from that Shoepalooza estate sale that we went to. Those have started to sell and we're super psyched about it. So starting off today's list is a pair of these Echo shoes. These are the women's Chase 2 blue leather lace-up shoes. These actually didn't have insoles, so I listed them a little bit cheaper, but these ended up selling for $24.99 plus shipping. Next on the list was this Macy's & Company women's 2XL heather gray top, embellished with a peace slogan, and this sold on a $9 best offer plus shipping. Up next was another pair of Echo shoes. These were the women's Yucatan sandals in blue and gray, and these ended up selling for $34.99 plus shipping. Interestingly enough, the first two pairs that sold were actually blue, and in fact, something that I touched about just a second ago was Poshmark. Because I do cross-post all of our clothing over to Poshmark, another blue pair of shoes sold over there as well. So it was interesting that out of all of the shoes that we picked up at that estate sale, all of the blue ones sold first. For this next item, I was mistaken on the last video and thought that that one, which sold, was our last one in stock, but it wasn't. In fact, this one was. This was the Thai Beanie Baby emoji movie, cat with heart eyes, and it sold for $6.29 plus shipping. The next item was this Liz Claiborne New with Tag Women's Teal Raised Pattern shirt, and it sold for $14 best offer plus shipping. The next set of sales went to the same buyer. He came in and bought both of these. These were the red Telluride Colorado vintage hats, and together they sold for $44.98 plus shipping. Then we had another pair of shoes go out the door. These were the Echo Chase 2 brown leather lace-up shoes, and these sold for $29.99 plus shipping. Up next was a vintage plush. This was Gus Mouse from Cinderella, and he ended up selling for $12.99 plus shipping. Then there was another great shoe sale. This was for the New in Box Echo Women's Yucatan sandals. These were also blue and gray, and these sold for $99.99 plus shipping. Up next was a vintage hardcover book. This was a Time Life Knights of the Air from the Epic of Flight series. This sold for $6.99 plus media mail shipping. Following that, we had this Cinch men's large or extra large button-down shirt, and it ended up selling for $24.99 plus shipping. So interestingly enough, this item actually got returned to us, but it was returned to us in a very strange manner. So the buyer didn't open up a return through eBay. He ended up sending it to us on his own dime. The other thing that I noticed was that on the shirt, the bottom button was cracked in half. So not only didn't he go through eBay's return process, it was also not returned in the same condition that it was shipped in. I reached out to eBay to get some guidance on what their advice was, and they said that because he didn't open up the return through eBay, I had no obligation to refund him. If I don't hear anything, I may just open up the door and start a conversation with him. I guess morally, I'm on the point where I don't think that I should owe him a full refund without any sort of explanation. I would at the very least like to educate him on the fact that if he is going to be returning items on eBay, that he does need to go through the normal process so that he's not out any money. What do you guys think? Do you think I should reach out, or do you think I should just let it go? Part of me would love to let it go, but the other side of me, I always had that voice in the back of my mind that says, no, you got to do the right thing. You should probably reach out and try to make it right, in the very least. The next item to sell was this vintage Clifford plush toy, and he ended up selling for $8.99 plus shipping. Next up was this Torrid women's size 0 navy blue military style jacket, and it ended up selling on a best offer of $17.09 plus shipping. Next up was another pair of shoes. This time it was the Echo Women's Chase 2 black leather lace-up shoes, and these ended up selling for $29.99 plus shipping. And then following that, another pair of the Chase 2 shoes. This time it was the red leather shoes, and these ended up selling again for $29.99 plus shipping. Next up, we had this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game for Nintendo 3DS. It sold for $4.99 plus shipping. And the last item for today was this vintage lot of 78 silhouette romance novels. Of course, it wasn't as big as the 700 book lot that I sold earlier. These sold for a best offer of $50 plus shipping. Okay guys, that's about all that I have for today. Again, let me know in the comments if you want me to start talking about our Poshmark and Mercari sales. Again, they don't comprise a lot of the volume that we do in the eBay store, but if you're curious to know what we sell on those platforms, I'll be more than happy to talk about them. The other item to think about is if I should reach out to the customer who returned that shirt. Again, he returned an item not going through eBay, and it was damaged when I got it back. So what do you guys think? Should I reach out and be proactive and take the high road, or should I just let it go and hope that he doesn't contact me? I'm curious to know your thoughts. If you enjoyed today's episode, go ahead and click the like button. And if you feel moved to do so, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We are approaching the 100 subscriber mark as I record this video, and so I am absolutely thrilled from all of your support. It really does mean a lot to us that we are growing as we are. Of course, none of this would be possible without your viewership, so it is greatly appreciated. And with that, thanks again for watching this far, all the way to the end, and we'll catch you on the next one.